I am all alone, and that's what we want, you know? Morning, no one's here, and it's just me.
So it's a quiet space, nobody's here. The cafe is empty with a scenic view and a good coffee beside me. So this is the best time for me, a best time for me to start yapping. You know, I really want to start to get to know you guys, but of course it will start by talking so much more about me first. So my name is Benny. My real name is actually Bernadette, but you can just call me Benny for short. My nickname was actually Bennett. I grew up because my mom really loves the brand United Colors of Benetton. And she said that the common nickname in Philippines for Bernadette is Badet. So she named my nickname Bennett instead because of the Benetton logo. So, but after working with several foreigners in, my field of business, it's hard for them to pronounce it and it's hard for them to remember it. So, we love simplicity. So, I just changed it to Benny. So, sis rebranded. So, you can just call me Benny for short. And I was born and raised in Manila. And I've been here in Bali for almost 2 years now, actually. I am on and off, so I come home from time to time to Manila. Oh my god, there's some music now. I hope it doesn't bother. So I come home from time to time in Manila to visit my family, and most importantly is I miss our food. Y'all can hate, y'all can talk shit about Filipino food, but if you know, you know. And Indonesian and Filipino food are kind of similar but also so different. I was raised with rice. Rice culture in the Philippines is big. We eat rice like 3 times a day. And moving here, I kind of adjusted because the best rice meal that you can get is nasi goreng. It's nice, don't get me wrong, I love it, but too much of the same thing repeatedly is not it. So I come home, buy some spices, and here, and then I cook here. Um, Indonesia is actually a country where having your own kitchen is like a privilege. Like most guest houses here, or those little houses, really looks just like a hotel with an ensuite bathroom, but they don't really have a private kitchen. Usually it's shared, and the price that you pay for that is kind of similar to a one bedroom price that you will get in Manila condo. So imagine, it's kind of impractical for me, and I really don't like sharing spaces, especially with terms of my kitchen and the utensils. It's just the OCD in me. That's why it's a non-negotiable for me to have a place that have my own kitchen. And there's not much that has its own kitchen here for a price that you would get for a condo. And I'm saying about 25 to 30,000 pesos. So you really gotta pay higher if you want a place with a private kitchen. And the cappuccino is so good. The first hit of caffeine in my brain is really nice. So, yep. And then the first time that I moved to Bali was just actually, I would say, an accident. So, I've been traveling by myself, backpacking for 8 countries now, just alone, just me and my backpack. And then this was pre-COVID, and then COVID hit, and then there was lockdown, and I can't get out of the house. And as someone who's traveling intensely like that, I feel like I was caged. And I would say I'm an extrovert, but not the people person kind of extrovert, but more of an outgoing kind of person extrovert. I really like unfamiliarity, like unexplored places is like a crack to me. I like decoding new locations, experiencing new culture. So, because of incompetent government in Philippines, we were locked down for 2 years. I believe we're the longest lockdown in the world. And a lot of countries are already lifted out their borders, but we're still like stuck in lockdown. So I'm like, as soon as this freaking lockdown is done, I'm gonna bounce. And during that time, I've been already scouting where will I pull up, where will I fly. And I always exclude Bali in the choices because it's the hopeless romantic inside me. I always say that like, oh, my honeymoon will be in Bali. I don't want to visit that yet. I should visit it when I'm like married, or you get what I mean. You know the gist. But during that time, I was able to foresee that looks like the marriage is not gonna be in the mix in the right possible like 2 years. So fuck it. I'm just gonna fly by myself. Like why would I wait? So I booked a flight to Bali, and it was a digital nomad visa. So a digital nomad visa was like good for 6 months. I didn't get it yet that time. I was like, let me test the waters first. I grew up in a big city. I'm a city girl, and I'm used that the condo that I'm living in, when I go down the elevator, the supermarket is there, the Starbucks, the McDonald's, like everything is there. And then there's a train, then there's a car that can pick me up. And this is an island, and it's a totally new jungle for me. And it really stretches me out of my comfort zone. So I booked my flight ticket, visited Bali for a month. It's like a test drive and to see the vibe. And to my surprise, I loved it. In the Philippines, the best that you can get in terms of coffee is Starbucks or Tim Hortons, or what else? Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. And we're so Americanized. But when I came to Bali, the coffee culture is insane. There's a lot of options, there's a lot of cafes. There's pros and cons, but as someone who's like from a totally different side of the spectrum, which is city, and then I moved to island, from a city girl to a rural area. It was just like, oh, honeymoon phase for me. It's I romanticized it, kinda. And then I stayed for a month. I tried to navigate on my own. I made friends, which are still my friends right now. And I met different people from all around the world. And I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna go home, pack my stuff, and then move here. So after staying for a month, I need to fly back home. And then I find a visa agency before I fly back home to help me process my visa. And during that time, they're offering the digital nomad visa. And it's good for 6 months. It's around 25,000 to 30,000 pesos good for 6 months. And you gotta pay it up front, and then every 2 months you gotta renew it in a span of 6 months. So every 2 months I gotta pay 12,000. So if you accumulate it, almost 60,000, yeah, but it's not like one time big time. It's like 30K at the beginning. And I packed my stuff. I told my mom and my family that I'm gonna bounce, I'm gonna move there, and I want to explore different things. I don't know, I just felt like I got super saturated in the Philippines during the lockdown. And of course my mom thinks that I'm insane. Who else, whose parents didn't think that it's gonna be an insane decision? And then during that time, I'm working on a freelance. So I'm working remotely. I already got a clients even before I decided to move. I mean, I'm spontaneous. I like to figure things out, but at the same time, I feel like I'm still grounded. I still have my own like contingency plan that I need to make sure that I don't like fuck around and find out. Like I don't just like bring my backpack and let life unfold. So it's crazy because that time I only had one freelancing client, and I'm earning even less than 1,500 USD or 2,000. So your girl gotta do what she gotta do. I promised myself that the moment I move here, I'm gonna find intensely another freelancing client. It's non-negotiable. Otherwise, I'm gonna look foolish after moving here and then moving back home and then like up, yep, I wasn't able to make things happen. So it's nice because I love challenge, and it also challenged me out of my comfort zone that for once I can make things happen even I don't have the 50-page plan yet in front of me. So this was circa November 2022. I booked my flight to Bali. It's a one-way flight. I even got questioned in the freaking immigration in the Philippines because they don't wanna honor digital nomad visa. For them, it's only tourist or a business visa. Like Philippines, y'all so behind. Like for real, y'all so behind. Like there's already a lot of countries who's more powerful than us is offering this visa, and we're digressing. We're not progressing forward with what's happening with this one. So I move here. I only have a certain level of income, and then I decided to. The first 2 weeks is just like while I'm exploring, I'm looking intensely, back to back interviews. I gotta get that bag, you know. Otherwise, it's do or die. So thankfully, I found a very, very good, I would say, client that also became my business partner, like no growth partner. He didn't treat me like a freelancer or a contractor or an employee, but I felt like I was part of the growth, the early stages. So my strongest skill is running ads. I have been running ads, I would say, all my life, like my biggest part of my career. So I started working with them. So I have two clients, and that time I'm already earning around 3,000 to 4,000 ish per month. Not so much, but also just enough to fund me and to fund my lifestyle, and also to send some money to my mom in Philippines and fam. And yep, I was able to keep that lifestyle, like working, grinding, and then exploring in the afternoon, meeting people, going out. And then after staying for at least like 3 months, that's when the business idea hits. I would say I've always been entrepreneurial, but I never had like the guts to take action. I know I'm a get shit done kind of person, but to go beyond that was never in the plan at the beginning. So it was just when I was already living here that I noticed some business gaps that I'm like, oh, I can make money from here. And I don't know, maybe it's just the hustler in me. So that time, I noticed that there is a big expat bubble in Bali. Like there's a lot of like foreigners from all around the world who's moving here and starting a new life here. And then there's Indonesian talents, but there was a gap in the industry because of language barrier. Because compared to Filipinos, I would say Indonesians are very, I would say, talented, artistic, but in terms of communication, it's not the strongest. So I'm like, I can navigate through this, can like get inside it and get things done. And during that time, this was 2022, no, 2023, early 2023, like Feb to March 2023. I'm so obsessed about the concept of the term digital nomad, and there was not much digital nomads that time. It's just there was already digital nomads, but the term digital nomad was not yet so, I would say, overrated compared to right now. Fast forward 2025. So I've joined different group chats in Bali where it's full of expats. And what's crazy is like they keep on asking the same question. It's like the same question is getting asked every 2 weeks, and it's driving me insane. I'm a person who likes to optimize things, and I want things efficient. So for me, it's like there's no efficient system in how these expats are navigating here. I know that I cannot target the locals right away because I don't speak their language, and it will take me months. So the quickest way is to deal with fellow foreigners like me. And I feel like a lot of people are so lost and scattered in their process of moving here. So I'm like, let me do something about it. So I started this business called Nomadify. So it's a consulting company for digital nomads. My goal is to target my fellow digital nomads who want to move in Bali or anywhere else in the world, and help them to navigate through visa problems, through flight problems, accommodation, and everything. It's like a one-stop shop solution. And during that time, I met a lot of like expat friends here, and I got like a collective idea. And I would say this is my very first startup business that I did in Bali. It's because I myself is the target audience. I myself, I've been through that. So I'm like, someone needs to step up and do something about it. So I built Nomadify, and then after that, as part of my marketing, I did a podcast where I interview digital nomads that's based in here, Bali. Each episode is a collective experience of one person from different sides of the world, and I ask them different set of questions like, what made you move to Bali? What made you to make a choice to leave everything behind? And then why this? What are you do? How much are you earning? And then what are your like, life goals basically? Because I think my biggest driving force is to help people realize that there's more to life and you can escape the 9 to 5 if it doesn't fit you. Don't get me wrong. Some people are okay with that, and it's not this, you're not a target audience for this video, Like, this is for the people who feel like cage, and it's not for like this type of concept of living. So did the interview. Like, I was working with my 2 freelance jobs, and on weekends I do interview people, shoot. I hired a videographer, and then I video editors in the Philippines. So I was funding my first business with my freelance jobs. Like, I really hustled so much that time, and I realized that I stretched myself so much that I worked 30 hours a week. No. More 30, no, 60 hours sometimes a week. It's crazy. Like, the acceptable work week is just only 40, and I felt like even on weekends I'm working a lot. So, but it's part of the journey. But as they say, your first 2 businesses will never make you rich. It will help you to be good. It wasn't as profitable, but the podcast that I did, we got monetized as early as 2 months. It's crazy. It just shows that there's a lot of people who's been searching about digital nomads, working remotely, or Bali lifestyle in general, that I feel like a lot of people resonated and found my channel. And our first episode even went 35,000 views. Can you imagine? That's a brand new YouTube channel with like less than 30 subscribers that time, and then I got this huge amount of views, and then the next episode, and then it's crazy. It accumulated like that. So I'm like, okay, it seems like there's a lot of people who's craving this kind of life, and as they say, people always want what they can have. So I continued creating content and started to like position myself more as like an expert in this like niche. It wasn't even a niche that time. And after that, I started to get inquiries from fellow entrepreneurs and startup founders in Bali, and they were asking me, how are you doing your podcast? Because they've been like doing episodes, but they're not getting that much views. So someone approached me first, asked me how much will I charge if I do his podcast. I ignored it. And then there's someone again who approached me. Hey, your podcast seems nice. I saw it. How much would you charge if you also work with me to my podcast? And then similar questions, I always dodge it. And then I arrived the 4th person who asked me the same thing. And then that's when it started to kick in my brain that, oh, I can make money from here. I can help people build their podcasts in, or put my expertise, since I've been doing it myself, and they are seeing the results, because I don't know, maybe the production, the marketing, and that time I'm like, this is a rebirth of a new business. So that's the business number 2 like flowed to me. It's also through just by executing. I never conceptualized about it. It just like it just came because people are already inquiring about it. And then that time my 6 month visa in Bali was up. So I flew to Thailand, stayed there for 2 to 3 months while I'm building my second startup. No. So after Nomadify, I transitioned to doing podcasts or conceptualizing about how can I help people about the podcast, just like how I apply it to myself. And then, call me weird, but my idea for the second business is a podcast. So I try to kind of play with words. So that's where, and I love Godzilla. So that's where Podzilla, podcast and Godzilla. You know, because the motto or the vision of it is like we want to help you make monster hits, Monster and Godzilla. I love dinosaurs. You know, like I'm weird like that. So I created a logo where there's a dinosaur and the dinosaur has earphones like this, you know, because it's about podcasting. So that's where the birth of my second business came. It's called Godzilla Media because during that time the niche of podcasting is also not so saturated. There's not much people who's helping people promote their podcasts. I don't know. I don't fucking know what's wrong with me, but I'm always attracted to road less taken. I don't know. Every time I see that, oh, why is this idea doesn't exist yet? Why is this business doesn't exist yet? It's like a crack to me. It fuels me more to, I want to be the pioneer in that. I want to be the start of that. Because I see the potential and then I just want to start executing things to be like, oops, I'm the first one here. Same with the digital nomad, same with the podcasting. So I transitioned from the digital nomads. I kind of stopped filming the contents for the digital nomads, and I focused more on building the podcast business because I felt like there's more money there. And this is why I wanna tell a lot of entrepreneurs is like you really don't have to hold yourself back. If you wanna pivot, go pivot. If you wanna change, go change. There's no fucking rule that you have to stick. I mean, it's good if you stick to it, but at the same time, adaptability is a good skill to do because if you keep on pursuing things that that is already showing you that's not gonna make you a lot of money, you're like a fly banging in a wall that you're still trying to get in, even you're already getting, roadblocks. So you gotta learn how to pivot that, oh, maybe this is a reroute. And it's okay. No one's gonna know, no one's gonna judge. Even Amazon started as like a bookstore and now look how big they are. Because Jeff Bezos adopted. And that's, I think, one thing that you should adopt in entrepreneurship. So, fast forward, I started to do Podzilla Media. This was I was in Thailand and I went back home to Manila. I rented a condo in Manila for 4 months while I'm building this, and everything was new. I was looking for a designer. I was like doing the branding and stuff. And then I started to create the pricing, and I was 29 that time. This was 2024. So I started to ask myself, actually my mom started to ask me, when will you start deciding to own your own place? You keep on moving. And for me, it's not a big deal for me. Maybe it's the air sign in me. I'm okay with like always moving. And a lot of people, their biggest aspiration in life is just to own a house, start a family, own a car, and it's a happily ever after. But I felt like I'm more on the other side. Like, I don't mind if I keep on moving. I don't mind if I have one base. And even if I have $1 billion right now in my bank account, the first thing that I will do is buy little apartments in every city that I love. I'm not gonna buy one big mansion in Palo Alto, California, like what Zuckerberg did. I want to diversify. because I like to travel. But then at the same time is money. So my mom told me that like you should start to buy your own like development or your own place, because she told me that it's a compounding effect. If you buy right now, it's gonna increase in the next years. So, and she told me that every time I leave my money in my bank account, I am losing it in inflation. So that was like a big lesson for me in finances. So after she told me that, like, I let me take some of my savings, and then I started to find like a good deal, a project nearby my hometown, which is in Quezon City, the north of Manila. And then I found this pre-selling condo, and I'm like, this is a strategic location. It's in front. It's beside three huge malls, and then there's a big train station that's being built there that will be ready by 2025, and there's also an upcoming big airport nearby. So imagine how much would be the appraisal of the price of it. So I got it in a very good deal, and then I asked my boss that time, because I have a specific like budget that can afford 2 bedrooms, and then I asked him, is it better for me to buy a 2 bedroom or buy 2 small studio unit? It's my first property ownership. And he told me, think like a monopoly game, start small. It's better to have more than big one. And then I followed his advice, and of course I did my own due diligence. I did the math, pros and cons. So I bought 2 units, and then the first unit that I buy is in 14th floor, the other one is in the top floor beside the penthouses. It's in the 24th floor. So the view is so beautiful, and I love city lights. So yep, it I'm gonna get like the keys very soon for that. And that was my very first ownership, and it was a hard lesson from my mom and from my boss and from me, that because my mentality before is like, I'm a woman, I'm gonna get married someday, I don't need a house, I'm gonna live with my husband, we're gonna own our own home. But then I realized that you need to also be solid by yourself, and don't centralize relationships in terms of practical matters. It's good if he will build with you, but at the same time you should be solid by yourself. So that's my first journey in real estate. I started to get a lot of headaches in processing the papers, the freaking, due diligence, the bank, the checks. Like, it's really adulting 101. But I'm like, we gotta welcome. I want to transition to my 30s responsibly. I'm gonna do big girl things. I'm gonna do adulting things. And this purchase is like a remembrance to myself, or a reminder to myself that you're now saying goodbye to your 20s, and this is your very first big girl problem. And 20s is not that scary, but if with this, it's gonna be scarier, but you will learn how to navigate. So I started to get hyped about it, because I was starting to compute that this is really a passive income. Like, even though I don't overwork myself, I just put my money there. That is the same logic as when I'm putting it in my savings. It's accumulating. And then I saw another unit that in a different building, where okay, I want to live here. I can see myself living here. I may not be in Manila always, but if I come home, I want like a place on my own. So I explored a two bedrooms. So I bought like the biggest unit there, but it's like a combined unit. So technically it's separate. So it's another two. So that's where my third and fourth ownership came in. And of course, every new level is a new devil. It's another headache, another problems of checks, paperwork, dealing with agents, and the due diligence to get shit done. But I still got shit done. I literally bought this property and signed all the necessary papers, and then the next day was my flight back to Bali. I told my agent, yep, we gotta get it shit done quick, because I'm gonna bounce soon. And then, thankfully, I was able to establish it. And then They sent me like the deed of purchase, and then way back 2024, I moved back to Bali with a 1 year visa, and I started to establish my business papers, started to still build the podcasting business, and I started to get clients. I started to get real clients, paying clients with the podcasting. So it's a different kind of high when you got your first client with a business that you just thought about. Like, freaking damn, it worked. It gives you like a fuel that you're not the Lulu. It's really a need, and you were able to solve a need, and now there's someone who's paying you because you saw the need that nobody noticed before. So that's like a validation through all the hard work and relentlessness of the days that like I doubted myself that is this gonna work? Why am I even doing this? Don't get me wrong, even though I am ruthless in execution every damn day, I'm like thinking, I should have just stayed in my job. I should have just like done this instead of this. But moments where you got the first clients is where you realize that you're not the Lulu at all. You're a, it's between insanity and genius sometimes. It's not spectacular. It's not like I invented the medicine for cancer, but it still helped other people. I'm getting the bag for that. So yeah, I continued doing the podcast business, and then there was a dip in the market. There was lay low because my price is kind of competitive compared to if they hire one freelancer who's willing to get paid for like $800 and do everything that I'm doing. So kind of dip there, but it's still profitable. So I'm like, it's kicking in again. I need to think about something. I need to do something different because since it seems like it's not getting sustainable anymore. So I'm like, I'm always good in ads. I started to do master classes in ads, and then like that. And then after that, doing the podcast and ads agency, I kind of get burned out, and I felt like I need to explore a different niche. And during that time, my business partner was in real estate industry, and real estate is big here in Bali. So enter property launch. This is like the marketing agency that I built for real estate here in Bali, because marketing is a big aspect in building here. So a lot of projects are off plan, so you really gotta know how to market, because most of the sales will be just like yapping and knowing the right connections. So since I feel like I already had enough courage and balls that I have proven that I can make things happen in marketing, I started to offer real estate marketing services in Bali. And until now, fast forward 2025, I'm still doing it. All my clients are expats here in Bali. Some are small business owners, and we're still getting shit done. And right now, I kind of lay low on the agency side because I want to focus on creating a different one. I'm now on my creator mode. I want to do like not really a course, but more about like a collective of learning that I learn while building these businesses. All the failures, all the mantras that I develop, all the systems. And I feel like someone out there who's still starting needed this. It's like my old self needed this, and there was nothing like this that exists. And it's not like I generated a million income, but at the same time, if you're playing at 0 or 5 right now, you need someone at least who played at 20 to 30 above you to get you to the next phase. And this is really like my advocacy or my mission right now, to help the people who's at this level, either a freelancer who wanna transition and build their own remote life, either agency owners who's stuck at 5,000 to 10,000 with headache clients, either agency owners who want to scale more. I feel like all the knowledge that I learned in these different industries is very helpful, and all the lessons that I learned in Meta as well. Like, I eat my own dog food. I don't just yap. I don't just like say whatever that I didn't prove myself yet. So yeah, that's my entire journey. Thank you so much for listening to my TED Talk. I appreciate that you're staying here in my channel. So I'm gonna be posting more so we can get to know each other more. And yep, that's all for now. Let's just enjoy the view and have the rest of your day so good. And yep, I'm gonna start reading the Sir Hunt book. Love ya.